not sure this is appropriate attire for a court proceeding, but I'm just gonna get through this and proceed. This is file number 24320 SC, Lacey J. Grice versus Justin Matheny. Would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is a claim for $3,650 for money that you allegedly lent to Mr. Matheny to repair his vehicle. He paid a small amount back and never paid any more. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was your relationship with him at that time?
He was honestly just a friend, you know what I mean? He would like call me and like talk about his problems and stuff, and I was like kind of there for him. He had a job working at Doc's Foundry. I just didn't think that there was any way he wasn't gonna pay me back, honestly. There was no reason for it.
Technologies pays a good wage, but he's not here. So
I bet he made every excuse in the book to avoid being served. But he is aware of the court day. I mean, he spoke to Bruce on the phone and pretty much blew him off like he blows me off. Like, oh, I can't, my kid. Which I understand people have life circumstances or whatever, but if you take money from somebody and you say that you'll pay them back, you need to pay them back. Like,
yes, and they do. So I find by default that he owes you $3,650 plus court costs of $83.50 and $89.02 for a total of $3,822.52. Now, getting the money is the easy part. Or excuse me, getting the judgment is the easy part. Getting the money is the hard part. He has 21 days to pay this, or he's subject to garnishment of his wages or other collection remedies. If he does not pay, I suggest that you come here to the courthouse in Centerville and ask for a discovery subpoena. We're going to do a little one of those in a little bit if Miss Taylor can get her phone unfrozen. Anyway, I believe he's still on Elm Street. So you have a money judgment. You can use it to seize his wages, garnish bank accounts, that sort of thing. But he has 21 days to pay. I don't expect that he will. He didn't respect the hearing enough to come. Do you have any questions?
I do not, sir. So after the 21 days, I would come in and ask for a
discovery subpoena.
Discovery subpoena. Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're good.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thought maybe the better we got that off, the sooner that we got that off the screen, the better. Judge Pattison would have allowed her to come into court. Anyway, he's not coming. She is in custody on a parole violation.
Parole or probation?
I believe it's parole.
Okay.
Yeah, parole violation, 2 days. So I don't know what that means. We're sort of at the mercy of what the parole board directs, and I don't know what it was she did that resulted in a violation either. So we'll find out. Good afternoon, Miss McWaters. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, this
am I
is
here on new charges?
no. I'm just gonna tell you, you're not in any trouble. This is Judge Middleton. You have a landlord-tenant case, Andrea, and I saw yesterday morning that you were in jail. So I didn't want you to miss your landlord-tenant hearing, so I asked the jail staff to bring you up. Okay?
I know, I gotta move my camper.
All right, well, let's talk about that. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. If both parties are agreeable, the court can help set that up. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord. That means the case gets dismissed. If so, the parties could file a conditional order of dismissal, and we would show you how to do that. So first of all, Ms. McWaters, I see that you're in jail on a parole violation. Have you seen Judge Stutzman or the parole board or anybody yet?
I'm waiting for Bobby.
All right, Bobby Joe Newland is your PO.
Yep, I'm waiting for her right now.
So you don't have an out date or anything?
I'm supposed to be leaving today.
All right. This is Attorney Casey Strong. She's here on behalf of the mobile home park. Casey, this is one of those weird, neither fish nor fowl cases. It's just a minute, just Ms. McWaters, just a minute. This rent is lot only?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what you would be doing is evicting the mobile home off the lot.
That's correct.
Ms. McWaters, you said this is a camper?
Yeah,
You have a camper on this lot?
I live on my mom's property.
Well, your mom doesn't own the lot.
Yes, my mom owns her property.
No, it's in a mobile home park.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you claim that you own this lot?
Yes, my mom owns her property that I am living on.
Well, I think you're mistaken.
No,
Is this, all right, well, then you have a chance to establish that. What can you tell me about this, Ms. Strong?
Thank you, Your Honor. The current rent to retain possession is $4,592.64. There are court costs in the amount of $156.60 for a total outstanding possession balance of $4,794.24. That is composed of lot rent but since this is a first hearing and a pretrial, we can come back at the second hearing and have a discussion if there's any issue with ownership that's not to my knowledge.
All right, Ms. McWaters, why do you believe your mother owns this lot?
Three Rivers, Michigan, there's no lot.
All right, well, this is an eviction from the mobile home park in Centerville.
I don't live in Centerville.
Did you ever? Well, you said something about moving your trailer or your camper.
I've never lived in Centerville.
Does your daughter live there? That's who it was served to. And
My
that
daughter's 14.
okay, well, your name's on the lease, so this can be something that we discuss at the next hearing, or if you would like to reach out to me, if you get out prior to the next hearing, we can discuss it at that time as well.
I don't even know how
Let me
my
take
name is. I'm paying
All
this.
right, so, all right, so you're talking about Michigan Avenue. No
Yes.
wonder we're not connecting.
Because that's the only property I live on. I've lived on that property since 2000. Oh, God. Forever.
Well, did you ever have a lease in Centerville?
Never.
Andrew McWaters and all other occupants. It was served by attachment. So let me see if there's more than one Andrea McWaters.
Yeah, Your Honor, I see a note on the proof that says Andrea McWaters is in Heartland Nursing Home since March of 2023, and this was subserved to Heidi McWaters, the daughter living on the property. That's my understanding of the case.
And my aunt.
One more
That is
time.
So it's
my
not
aunt,
even you.
Not me.
All right, so she's in Heartland. Well, disregard everything I told you, Andrea. It's not you. It's, let me see if I can find her in the system.
That's my cousin Heidi McWaters and my aunt.
Does your
All
aunt
right.
have the same name as you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, there we go. You had me scared for a moment.
Because I'm like, what? Because I know if I have a trailer, how come I'm living in a camper?
Well, that's probably next, Andrea. You can't live in a trailer in Three Rivers.
I know.
Andrea
I'm moving in.
McWaters.
I'm moving in Middleton.
What's your middle name, Andrea?
Nicole.
What?
Nicole.
All right, we are talking about Andrea Elizabeth McWaters.
We got the same first and last name, but not middle. So
All
my
right,
excuse-
now that I gave you a heart attack and woke you up from your nap, good
I
luck
was
with,
like, I'm waiting for,
all right, good luck with your PO, Bobby Joe, and I'm sorry to have dragged you into this. All right, you're good to go. All right. We had a hearing on May 31st. The defendant was served by attachment, Andrea McWaters. So I brought Andrea McWaters in from the jail, and it was the wrong Andrea McWaters. I think that was Andrea Nicole McWaters. The tenant is actually her aunt, Andrea Elizabeth McWaters. So we didn't have personal service, so we continued it. I got a phone call about 5 minutes ago from Heidi McWaters, Andrea's daughter, said her mother wouldn't be here.
And Your Honor, I can shed some light on that as well. Ms. McWaters, she is in a nursing facility at this time. She has been in the nursing facility since before we filed the non-payment of rent complaint. Her aunt has power of attorney over her, and she's indicated that they want to sign the trailer over to the park. But Heidi McWaters is still living in the property and she's not paying her lot rent. And that is why this action was brought as a non-payment of rent matter.
I'm sorry, can
All
I
right,
say?
let's bring, well, just a minute. Let's bring Heidi McWaters in here.
Yes, sir.
And this property belongs to your mother, Andrea McWaters?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, the landlord wants you to pay the rent or move out. I'm advised that your mother wants to sign the trailer over to the park.
Okay.
What's your position?
I do not want the trailer. I planned on moving out. This has been, the new owners of the park have been a little bit, I call it scandalous, sneaky, whatnot. My mom moved the trailer in 30-something years ago, and they were not apparently willing to renew a lease for her with this trailer. And they were gonna put us, evict us and put us in jail for being, what do you call that? Anyways, my mother owns this trailer, and they said that they send out 4 letters. One is, we'll trade you $1,000 for your house keys, and you have to move out and sign in by this whatever date that you decided. I did not get a letter for that. I mean, everything has been so wrong.
Well, let me ask this. So you're presently living there, but you're not paying any rent?
No, sir. I was living with my mother. I had to quit my job because of a diagnosis of congestive heart failure. And me and my mom You know, she was helping take care of me, whatnot. I was helping take care of her. Then she, 5 weeks after I got my diagnosis and had to quit my job, she had that stroke, or a stroke. And her wishes were to take care of this trailer and her dogs with an account that she had with one of the banks here in Centerville. It's so frustrating because that's what my mom's wishes was with the money.
Well, let me ask this. Ms. Vela, when was rent last paid on this lot? And
The power of attorney for Andrea McWaters, which is her sister Rose, signed over the mobile home last year in October.
And Your Honor, to answer your question, the last payment was September 1st, 2023 in the amount of $371. She's had a balance running since then. That balance is totaling $5,092.02. Court costs of $156.60 for a total of $5,248.60.
and how many cents?
$5,248.60. And there should be a proposed judgment in the file as well.
I have it right here with that number on it. All right, well, Miss McWaters, your mother's power of attorney was her sister, and she signed the trailer over to the park. So your mother no longer owns it, the park owns it. And you've been living there.
I now recall signing that trailer over.
Well, your mother didn't sign it. Your aunt signed it over as her power of attorney. And you've been living there without paying any rent for more than a year. And so they want you to move.
I totally understand that.
Okay. Is she on the lease?
No, she's not, Your Honor.
You see, when they came up here last summer and took over the park, they went around and handed out leases to every trailer to renew it with their coming in, you know, and the purchasing of this place. And they did not bring anything around here. Why at that time in June were they not willing to at least give me an application, run my information through it, and keep the trailer here, or let me come in as like a stranger off the street, you know? It's my mom's trailer, she moved it in here. So why couldn't they treat me like any, you know, the next person, give me an application to fill out, you run my credit or whatever it is that you run to get people in here, let us fill out a lease agreement and go from there. No, they have been scandalous from the get-go.
Well, stop. You're not on the lease. You haven't paid any rent in more than a year. And they're scandalous. You can pay this amount. Now stop.
To sign a new lease agreement like the other 50 trailers in here.
Miss McWaters?
Somebody else got a new lease agreement handed to them.
Miss McWaters,
Yes,
if you were here in the courtroom, I would find you in contempt for interrupting me. You are a tenant at sufferance. You don't have a right to stay there. Although the way they filed it, your mother is on the lease, she can pay the rent of $5,292.02 with a court cost of $156.60 for a total of $5,248. That's how much you cost the trailer park by staying there without paying any rent. Your aunt, who is your mother's power of attorney, signed the trailer over to the park.
Where is that paper? I have not seen that paper, Your Honor. I've seen every paper of I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry for interrupting you. But
all right, well, I didn't know you existed until 5 minutes before this hearing started. Last time I brought Nicole McWaters in from the jail and confused the heck out of her. And then I realized that it was your mother. This was posted by attachment. So you would have had reason to know there was a hearing, but you never came. And your mother didn't come. And now you're here, you are the tenant, you're not on the lease. But this amount of rent is due. I'm gonna show it as a default because it's in Andrea's name, not yours. But you are included as to all other occupants. So I'll show a hearing as to Heidi.
Excuse me?
You were here by phone. All you had to do was walk down the street and you could have come here to the courthouse. But we managed to make the connection by telephone because you called about 5 minutes before the hearing started. The bottom line is you're living there with no lease and you're not paying the rent. So someone has to pay $5,248 within 10 days or you're subject to being evicted. And I understand there's nowhere to move to. But they can't just let you keep living there without paying any rent. And apparently they don't wish to have you as a tenant. But I don't know that you ever went in and applied in your own name. You've had the benefit of living here for more than a year without paying any rent. And that's a benefit. But what this hearing is, this whole landlord-tenant process really boils down to making people move when they don't want to move or pay the rent when they don't want to pay the rent. So we're going to send this to there. What facility is Andrea in?
I don't know the name of the facility. Do you know, Ms. Vela?
I do not know off the top of my head, but it is.
I don't know. I'm the bearer of bad news. And I will send this there. And if you have other issues, you may go talk to the manager. Otherwise, you're going to have to be prepared to move out within 10 days. All
Your
right.
Honor, may I say
All right.
something?
Yes. Yes.
So on several occasions, we tried to help Miss Heidi to relocate. She did come to us and say, well, her friend was going to sell her an RV camper for them to live in, and that it was going to cost her $1,000 something. So we offered cash for keys to avoid going to court and fees and stuff. We did offer her the $1,000 to surrender the property, and then she would be able to have the money to go get her RV, so that we didn't have to keep going back and forth through all of this, because she understood that she was not permitted on the property that she was squatting. So we have on several occasions offered to help her with funding to move out. But she will say yes, and then she'll go back on her word, and then she'll give us another, like a long, lengthy story about how she suffers from her heart and this and that. As she has two other men living with her brother and her boyfriend. And so we kind of exhausted every type of help that we could offer her or any type of agreement, because she's just non-compliant, and she expects her aunt, which is the power of attorney for her mother, to continue paying these bills, continue to pay the back pay, and to continue paying, like, their water pump got messed up and whatnot throughout this whole process. But she expects the power of attorney of her mom to pay for everything. And we've explained to her over and over that that's not how it works. She has to be responsible for what's going on because she's the one that's living in the home. And so she has never made an effort to make things right.
Well, I didn't realize there were two additional people in the trailer. Last week, I thought the thing was vacant. So Ms. McWaters, this applies to you and all occupants in the trailer. They have to be out within 10 days or subject to being evicted. All right, we'll send you this in the mail.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Vela, if she contacts you, just send her to me. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
All right. Well, today's been a day of that kind of case. is a pretrial in this matter where the plaintiff filed a lawsuit suing the defendant for $7,738.02 plus cost, interest, and attorney fees. Mr. Moddert was served with a lawsuit and he filed a handwritten answer that we accepted. And essentially, he says this is fraud committed by his ex-wife. He doesn't name her, but says he didn't do this and this was all done by his ex-wife using his name and social security number. The debt is from several years ago, and I don't have very many facts, like the billing history, where the bill went to, where it was paid from, that sort of thing. Mr. Moddert, what's your ex-wife's name?
Now it's Michelle Jean Adams.
Jean, Jean?
Yes.
And what was that last name? I didn't quite catch that.
Adams, A-D-A-M-S.
Yes.
All right, you were married to her from when to when?
I don't know. I divorced her in 2007. She's done this several times.
All right. Divorced. So you've been divorced from her from 2007, and during that time, did you and she live in the same house?
Well,
After you divorced her, did you ever live together?
No. No.
All right. Some we can learn by where the bill was sent, where it was paid. It appears this was a credit card with Synchrony Bank, and there would have been a charging and paying history on it, which could shed some light on this. Ms.
Your
Richter,
Honor,
do you have
if
any?
I may, based on what I've seen from the billing statements, this was a Care Credit Synchrony Bank charge account, and Care Credit is typically used for medical or cosmetic or dentist or veterinarian procedures. What I see here is a single charge on February 18th of 2019 in the amount of $7,500 for a plastic surgery center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's the only charge that I see on there, and there was maybe 1 or 2 payments on it before it went into default.
Did you ever have plastic surgery in Grand Rapids in 2019?
No. Never. It was a lot bigger than that. It was over $30-some thousand she had done. She had different things done to her body and charged all this stuff up. I never received anything, no credit cards, no thing, never signed for anything. I'm on full disability since 2015.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. And I have all my stuff paid for through full Medicaid, full Medicare. And she knows she did all this, and she got them she gave them a couple of payments, and then they took her name somehow off the thing. And I was able to talk to her through my daughter a little bit, and that was about it. And, she says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay." And she does this with other people too, so.
Well, you've alleged in your answer that she had done this to others as well. Ms. Richter, do you have any thought here?
I do have one thought. Mr. Motor did indicate he is on Social Security. That in and of itself may qualify him to allow me to close this out on a hardship, a financial hardship situation, if I could get a copy of an award letter. And perhaps we wouldn't even need to go down the route of, who used this credit card and what the circumstances were around it.
I think she should be accountable for what she did. She's done this a few times and got away with this situation, and now she's even done it recently in the last couple of weeks here again to somebody else. And yeah, the only thing I get to do is talk to my daughter to find out what's going on with her mother.
Well, in addition to the civil ramifications of this, this is a crime if your information is accurate. If she falsely charged a debt in your name and had this significant unpaid medical bill, it's a crime. Whether you can get anybody to investigate it or charge it or prosecute it is another question. This is only regarding the civil debt. And portfolio recovery could attempt to identify her as the actual person that made the charge and pursue a civil case against her. Your only concern is you don't wish to be liable for this $8,000 approximate debt. What Ms. Richter indicated is if you are on Social Security, disability, or other Social Security, you're essentially, even if it was your debt, it'd be very difficult to collect it, if not impossible, from you. They can't seize your Social Security. And if you can confirm that with the attorney, they could simply dismiss the case against you. Whether or not they proceed against her or anybody proceeds a crime against her, is up to them. What I would propose, Ms. Richter, is we adjourn this about a month. I put the two of you in a breakout room. You give him what you need from him. And if he provides that information to you, you can simply dismiss this as a hardship case. Do you have an objection to that?
No, Your Honor, that sounds great.
Mr. Motter, I'm going to put you on what's called a breakout room where you can talk privately with Attorney Richter. She wants you to provide information regarding your Social Security disability status. And if you can do that, they may then just dismiss the case. Now, no one's going to do a criminal investigation unless you or somebody else make a complaint. You may be able to give her enough information which they could pursue her as the actual generator of this debt. But you were divorced well before this happened. I do believe you didn't get plastic surgery in 2019 and never got billed for it. So, all right, let me set up a breakout room